All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of the Show Baseball Podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, I have Darien Smith on, and it's actually we're dipping into the San Francisco Giants organization. Darien came off of a Pitcher of the Week award a couple weeks ago, and he has been doing so well in his first full pro season. Obviously, he was a undrafted free agent signing last year. And he's gotten off to a great start in his pro career. So we do talk about that. We dive into, what's working for him, everything that's going into affiliate ball and just getting adjusted to the post-college game here. But before I do get any further, whether you're watching me on YouTube right now, listen to me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you intake your podcast, please like, subscribe. Making a big push right now on YouTube. It's free to subscribe right there. It means the world to me. But yeah, without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Darien Smith. All right. I am joined by Darien Smith of the Giants organization. And Darien, I kind of want to start. Obviously, you're coming off of a Player of the Week award a few weeks back now. And you've obviously had a pretty good start to your 2025 year. So I do want to start with that. And how have things been going for you? And what have you noticed about yourself this year?
Things are going pretty good. I think the biggest adjustment just from college to pro ball is, you're kind of really on your own. You still have guys that are with you, but you're a grown man now, and you got to get after it on your own. And I think that's something that I've really enjoyed is like being able to do my own thing and like have my set routine and still like be with the guys and stuff. But I've always enjoyed having my own routine, and I think that really helps in pro ball as well.
Has your early season success surprised you at all? I mean, obviously, I know that you wanted to start off your pro career probably on the best note as possible, like everybody else does. But have you shocked yourself at all with how you've come out of the gates?
Yes and no. Going into pro ball, obviously, first year, you're kind of like, man, I wonder how different it's going to be and all that stuff. But my last few years of college, I really figured some things out, and I got a lot of innings under my belt, man. So I really feel like at the level, it's pretty similar, and as long as you're just attacking and filling up the zone, no matter what, I feel like you're going to be successful. And I think that's something that I do pretty well, and that's obviously shown, my first month of professional baseball, and I hope to continue that success at least.
So I don't want to assume anything, but I see you're from Florida, and I would assume you would consider yourself an East Coast guy. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're on the opposite coast this year. You're out in California, and have you? I don't want to say culture shock because I feel like coast to coast. I mean, there are a lot of things different, but have you? How has been life adjusting to the opposite coast?
I will say that has probably been the biggest adjustment of pro ball for me is just where I'm at. I mean, before this year, I'd never even been to California, never been to Arizona. So those were definitely two big adjustments, but it was also very cool. Like the landscape is just so different. There's mountains here, but then there's a beach 30 minutes away. Whereas in Florida, I'm 15 minutes from the beach, but there is no mountains. It's palm trees. You know what I mean? So that's definitely the biggest thing. But I also get flashbacks of home as well. It's hot, the weather's nice all the time. I mean, I don't know. I love it, and it's different at the same time.
I feel like this might be an easy question for you, but do you prefer a Florida summer or California summer so far?
So far, every summer I had in Florida, I was on the boat. You know what I mean? Now my summers here is work and staying to it. So I'd probably prefer a California summer, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably a little less humid, I would assume, out there and everything. But Florida, man, I'm a big Florida guy. I'm not from Florida, so I'm not biased. But I don't know, man, can't really beat Florida.
Yeah, it's hard to beat, man. It's hard.
Well, so obviously, you kind of talked about, your start to your year, and you kind of talked about some of the things that, affiliate ball is very different from college ball. But for yourself, obviously, I kind of asked you a little bit about, how your start went and how you became, getting that recognition for minor league baseball. But Is minor league baseball everything you thought it would be? Are there any things that you've noticed that it's a little different? Like, I guess, can you kind of talk about the experience of, I guess, affiliate ball so far for yourself?
I would say it's definitely everything I thought it would be. I mean, for me, I came from a smaller school, so I didn't really get to play in front of like big crowds and like have firework nights on Friday nights and stuff like that. So that part for me has been very like honestly amazing. Like I love it, and I think that's the part of minor league baseball that is very different for me and has been the part that I'm adjusting to is just there's actually fans showing up to the games and like cheering you on and like wanting you to like we have the beer batter. Once somebody strikes out the beer batter, the place goes crazy and like that's just it's a great time. Like it I don't know, I love it. So I think that's the one thing that is just the environment is way different and that's what's lived up to the expectation as well, you know.
Yeah, and you had kind of mentioned as well. You obviously you weren't playing necessarily in front of like the large crowds and things like that in college. And is that been something? Obviously going to smaller schools than the SEC guys, the ACC guys,
Yeah.
Big 12, all that. Like, is that something that you kind of like carry like a little chip on your shoulder of being like, I wasn't the first round pick or even the 10th round pick, or I didn't go to the LSU's, that is that something you carry with you?
Um yeah, yes and no. Like I would say everybody's here for a reason, you know. Everybody got here their own path, their own way. For me, it's funny we have a joke on the team because I'm an NAIA guy or whatever, and so like we had a joke throughout the clubhouse, and I don't know, it was just it's been good. It's been good fun, good quality fun. I'll just say that, and but yeah, it does make me want to like keep going and work hard. But at the same time, we're all here together and we're all trying to hopefully get to our end goal, which is playing in the MLB. So we're just pushing each other at the end of the day, you know.
What I don't really get a whole lot of guys that in professional baseball that played for NAIA schools. So I guess for yourself, like how was that in college, like playing at that level, and I guess what was the experience like?
Um, it was I played. I started out at D1 and then went to a different D1 and then ended up at NAIA. You know, I had a fun college journey. But yeah, from NAIA, Friday night starter to be example. Your Friday night when we're playing Florida, there's 5,000 people there. My Friday night when I'm pitching at SCU, there was maybe 100. You know what I mean? Like that's the big difference. Also NIL, like that was a huge thing. Was like you could be the top player at our school and nobody really knows who you are. You're the top player somewhere else. Obviously, everybody knows who you are, and like rightfully so. You know the brand and the advertisement and stuff that the big schools get compared to what we get. But I will say there is quality baseball in NAIA as well. I mean, we had 7 guys from my team alone get signed this past year. So, and I think that was maybe a record. I don't know. But yeah, we had a very quality team, and I felt like we could have competed at any level for sure.
Yeah, it's something I like about minor league baseball. It's like, you have guys from so many different backgrounds. You got undrafted guys, you got first round picks, you got, guys from small colleges, from big colleges, whatever it is. And, it not all paths are linear. They're not all the same. It's like
Sure.
everybody comes from somewhere different. It's very
Sure.
unique. But all right. So for yourself, obviously you getting started this year in your first full season. You had your first professional off season. What were you up to? How did you spend it?
Yeah, I worked out at this great place called Cortex Sports Performance. It's in Jacksonville, Florida, my hometown. Uh, my guys Tom and AJ, those are my 2 trainers. I mean, really know what they're doing. They work out with some of the most premier athletes that you can think of. Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, guys like that, Brock Purdy. So it's definitely a great spot to be. We work out 4 days a week, and yeah, I mean, it was just getting after it from October until leading up to spring training, and I think it was a great off-season camp for me. I put on a little bit of weight, some good weight, and I felt very healthy and very strong going into spring training, and that definitely carried over for sure.
How hands-on has the organization been for you? Obviously I talk to guys from a lot of different orgs, and they'll go into an off season and be like, okay, well, my team wants me to be on a velo program, or they want me to try adding like the sweeper in, or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
what was their I guess involvement with your off season? Like, how did that look?
So we had an exit meeting like right at the end of the summer, right after I signed, and they kind of just told me, hey, we want you to pitching wise, we want you to add maybe a little bit more horizontal on the slider, and weight wise, we like where you're at. We want you to try to stay around the 205 range, somewhere around there, but they just keep working, really, just keep going. And that was like the biggest motivation right there, was like, all right, they've seen what I'm doing. They're happy. There's a reason I'm here, that they brought me here. So now I gotta like live up to my standard and do what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've also heard some crazy stories from some guys before that are pretty new to pro ball, that their pitch mix and their arsenal look very different than what they do a year later in professional ball. Is yours pretty much still the same, like, or do you have a lot of changes?
No, I would say mine's definitely still the same. I mean, I've shown I've shown that I can throw, 5 pitches for strikes, and I can move the ball around really well. And I think that's something that the organization likes about me a lot. I'm not going to blow you away with 100 miles per hour, but I can spot up and I can move the ball really well. And I think that as long as I add a little bit more velo throughout the years, I think eventually that will help me out a lot.
All right, and yeah, that kind of leads me into obviously your first spring training this past just a couple months ago, and it was the very first time, and I love spring training because it is the only time of the year every single player in the organization is at one site throughout the year. So I always find it fascinating that you're surrounded by low A, high A, double A, maybe not as much triple A and big league guys with you being new, but. What was your experience like? Did you get the chance to maybe talk to some of the guys in affiliate ball that were a little ahead of you, or like, I guess, what your experience like?
Yeah, for sure. So the locker room I was in was mostly double A and triple A guys. So I was definitely able to like kind of pick their brains a little bit, and like before even coming into it, asking them like, hey, like what's the routine like? What's game day like? What are the apartments gonna be like? All these basic questions, and everything they really told me was right on to how it is here. And spring training wise, I mean, it was a great time. The summer before spring training, when I was in Arizona, everybody always talked about like the weather, spring training, how great it is, and also how hectic it is with all the guys there. And that definitely lived up to the hype as well. But it was really cool to see. I mean, you kind of get to stack yourself up against people and, see where you're at, where other people are at. And I don't know, you get to see everybody working. And I think that makes you want to work harder as well. And like you see guys that are double A or triple A knocking on the door, that makes you want to get there and, work your butt off to get there. And that's what it did for me. I think it just pushed me more, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the next spring training for you, you'll probably appreciate different things because you won't be the rookie deer in the headlights. Possibly be like, this is my first one, but next year I feel like you'll be a vet at that point. All right, so we're recording this right now on a Monday, which is the off day for minor league baseball, and I usually tell guys that it's okay if you guys don't want to record on Mondays. I totally get it. It's your only day off during the week, but my question to you, if I'm not making you do one of these or it's not raining outside, what are you doing on your Monday off day?
Oh man, I'm probably just kicking back and chilling and letting my body rest up a little bit. We work hard throughout the week, so I might hop on the game for a little bit. Right now, as I said earlier, watching a little bit of baseball. Can't get enough of it. I don't know how, but you know, yeah, just chilling, man.
Something I didn't hear from you that I believe you're going to be in a major minority. Do you not golf?
Dude, so I do golf, and a couple of my teammates are golfing right now. I don't have my clubs with me because I didn't drive from Florida. So that's definitely been a hard, because even all spring training on the off days or just whenever we got off, guys are going golfing and I'm wanting to be there, but I can't. I just don't
Man,
have
you
my
got to get
clubs.
those shipped. You gotta you gotta do something about that. It's tough. You're even you're in California too. Like I know Florida has some pretty good courses. I don't want to compare the two states because I bet they probably have, but you're in golf country out there in
Golf
California
country.
and you're
Oh,
missing out on it.
I've heard my buddies they talk about it every day while we're warming up. So yeah, I'm definitely
Man,
missing out. That's for sure.
it's not like you're up you're up playing in like New York or something like that. You're in Cali, man. That's crazy. Yeah, every pitcher I talk to, that they say they're using their real 99 card on the show or
Yeah.
they are golfing on the off day. And
Yeah.
I didn't hear either one of those from you.
I'm still waiting on my real 99, man. I sent the thing in spring training. I haven't got it yet, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, I got two questions left for you, and I will let you slide.
Sure.
I asked you a little bit about this earlier, but I have this. It's more specific now. Obviously, going from coast to coast, like you said, little culture shock a little bit. It's a lot different. Florida, style of life. California is very, very different. So for yourself, what are some things that you're missing from home? Like whether it's like restaurants or just like, what do you miss the most?
Um, to be honest with you, man, I probably just miss my family and my dog. My girlfriend. I mean, that's the biggest thing is uh, I've always had them around, and obviously this is the first year without it being all the way on the other side. Especially my mom. She's a big part of my life, so I'd definitely say that. And then obviously like fishing, like I just miss going and fishing, getting on the boat for sure. But I'm also very happy and very blessed as well. You know what I mean? Very thankful to be out here as well. So I think there's a little give and there's a little take with coming over here compared to staying over there had I got signed by an East Coast team.
Yeah, I feel like that's like an underrated part of, obviously you being from Florida and all your family and everybody's down there. And it's like just the time change alone. Like you were
Yeah.
4 hours behind them.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Like trying to coordinate. My girl's going to bed at whenever she's going to bed, and it's still 7:30 here. You know what I mean? It's like it kind of sucks now. What do I do?
Yeah. Yeah. That's an underrated part of it. I feel like that's something I don't really think about. Yeah. It's interesting. All right. Last question here for you. Obviously we talked a little bit about your start to the year. You're coming off Player of the Week award a couple weeks back. Obviously you've got off to a very good start. So we are in mid-June right now, and we are quickly approaching the All-Star break, which is normally about halfway point of the season is what people like to refer to that as. So for yourself, what do you have, I guess, goal-wise, whether it's like a statistical goal, a personal goal, anything? What would you like to see yourself accomplish by the All-Star break?
I would say honestly, just keep doing what I'm doing. I feel like I've pitched really well, and I've helped give our ball club a chance to win every time I've stepped on the mound. And I think as long as I can do that, and pick them up and then pick me up, that's probably the biggest thing. We're playing really well as a squad right now, and I think we win tomorrow, we clinch the first half of the season. So, that's a pretty big thing for us, and I think that's what we really want. And I think we have a very good chance to be a really good team at the end of the year. You know what I mean? So I think for me, myself personally, just keep doing what I'm doing and what we're doing as a team.
Yeah, I mean, it's quickly approaching, man. Like you said, first half is coming up quick. It's crazy how fast that went. But Darien, obviously, thank you so much for hopping on. Obviously, wishing you the best of luck as we go forward here in 2025. But thank you again.
For sure. Thank you, man.